Was there anything else?
Yeah, the other one, 4292. I'm sure we approved it, but it's just not ringing a bell.
Yeah, that's the ASL Nationals.
Oh, okay.
Was it Trump Towers?
What's that?
Was that at Trump Towers?
No, but it was the courtyard by Marriott in Sacramento. I think.
Sacramento?
I couldn't think what that was about. It wasn't ringing a bell. That's all. Okay.
Is that the same, that's the ASL that was just up in Alaska?
Yep.
Okay, so we were in the semifinals or something, right?
I don't recall off the top of my head.
It was part of that same competition that collegiate ended up in Alaska.
What is the total SBAP interim payment total on a monthly basis? Because I'm looking at 3,100, 21,000. I mean, you could go through it.
You're looking at us catching up from last year. And that's an annual, that's our last year annual amount. Again, we waited for our cost settlement, and we were working through the proper way of allocating out those funds, because we knew we couldn't be double dipping. They're already paying us for tuition, so we knew we owed them money. So we waited for the cost settlement, which is a complete year behind. So that's what you're seeing here. Those payments are an annual amount. I can come back at the board meeting to provide you how much exactly they were. I don't recall off the top of my head.
Well, it should be equal to what was supposed to be paid last year, right?
No, it's gonna be different every
It's
year.
going to change.
It will change every year based on the number of students.
All right, so it'll change based on the total amount we even received back for cost settlement, because one student could need more direct billing services than another. That's one example. Second, the overall cost is gonna change on an annual basis, so the total cost of allocating out is gonna be different. And then, of course, the district, if you're sending more kids there, less kids there, more time's gonna be spent there, will also change the amount that's going to each district. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, when you give a little orientation to Ms. Pike, maybe you could give me a little orientation too. I have a couple of other questions. There was a identification, the very first one on there, All-American Sports Corp, football McDowell reconditioning, 4,500. What is that?
Yeah, reconditioning helmets and shoulder pads, I would guess. It's my guess right now. I don't know all these off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that's what it would be.
Okay, so there's all purchase orders and documentation to back it up. What is Citizens Bank, commercial loan, 41,000, what is that?
We have a commercial loan, part of our debt, that's, I can't remember how many years back, but it was to do a roof, I believe is a Citizens loan that we're still paying on. For which you should see in our audited financials, you can see that.
Earthlink, long distance, 3,300.
You know, I've always kind of questioned long distance, because with VoIP and such, I think that our long distance should be nil, because, you know, we don't make long distance calls, or very, very few. And when you do it on VoIP, it's free. That's the whole idea of doing voice over IP. You don't pay long distance charges.
I would have to look at the Earthlink again.
If we look at that just for next year, because that, I questioned that a couple of years ago, it just seems kind of high. You know, I know what it's for, but it just seems like astronomical that we'd be making $3,000 worth of long distance. I would even say, we have enough people with cell phones, is use your cell phone, because long distance is free on cell phones.
Also on the, it says U.S. Bank copy of lease 7758. U.S. Bank?
U.S. Bank, I'm assuming, relates to our bond issues, but I would like to go back and check.
Okay. Please either send to the board, you know, some explanation to it. I have here, we're looking at Knox Law Firm, general legal matters, 7150, and then the tax assessment appeal. Is that with Wegmans, I would assume? Or
There are other appeals currently in litigation that, like,
okay. When you identify something as general legal matters, I question that, because what you provided, this printout,
Okay?
I originally asked for a computer printout, not for a study or you preparing this, just a computer printout, so that you could look at it line by line. When I added up the expenses for the legal general, you broke it down to general, special education, litigation, and also labor. Doesn't add up to what you have here on the line item. The line item is the 300 series, 310, and also it's not broken down. So that's the reason why I'm asking for some validation. And the reason why too, Mr. DePlacido, Mr. Pike, myself, and Mr. Pitzer attended a municipal law update, annual law update, given by the Knox Law Firm. And one of the speakers said, there have been situations, and I have a printout here, that on certain things, and this is not micromanaging, this is, we are doing our job as school board directors. This was just about a little over a year ago, and the Auditor General is identifying financial mismanagement in certain school districts. And this one is specific. The Coatesville Area School Board approved cutting the former solicitor off from receiving a paycheck from the school district after internal investigation performed by a special legal counsel revealed issues related to obtaining district-owned technology. This is a whole thing. I could send it to you. What I'm concerned about, right, is when you provide the fund accounting check summary, and there's something in there, and the attorney presenting the program stated, you have to be responsible. And I believe he mentioned, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think he mentioned something about that we are responsible for the expense of the taxpayers, and there can be issues where the school board directors are responsible. Now, I brought that up 2 years ago when I was a citizen, and I mentioned to the school board that school board directors can be sued, and it's covered under surcharge. So I'm concerned about that. And, since I got on board, took my oath of office, I'm concerned about that. So when I asked for, if one report doesn't align with another report, I do have some concerns, and I have not approved any of the accounts payable because I'm not getting the answers. Right? So I could send you this list of that I have, that I question, and maybe you could answer it. Is this the one that was just mentioned, Courtyard by Marriott, Deb, number 34, Large, Sacramento? Is that the one we're talking about? Okay. Kelly Services, $16,000. Who does an evaluation of Kelly Services as to what we are receiving as substitute teachers and compare it to doing it internally? Who does the evaluation of Kelly Services? Because, when I look at Kelly Services, it says regular education, but then it says special